Andy Jenkins, and in this video, we're going to share with you the details of a brand new and exciting software application called Webinar Jam Studio. So let's jump right in.
Webinars are our thing. We've been conducting them and helping thousands of people run.
Hi, good morning, everyone. We're just moving the slides around here, so give me 1 second. Oh my God. Okay, what to do? Okay, so you're gonna have to give me just a second, everybody. I've got a little bit of a technical glitch here, and I'm gonna have the slides rolled up really shortly. Here we go. Okay, I think we got it. Let me know. I'm going to give you my mobile number. Good morning, everyone. This is Deborah Peters. And let me know if you can actually see my slides. I had a little trouble getting them to load here this morning. Let me see. Just want to make sure that, here we go. You should be able to see them, technically speaking, if all has gone well. So let me know if indeed that is the case. Just shoot me a quick text, and my mobile number is 310-955-8808. Again, it's 310-955-8808. So we're just getting rolling here this morning. And thank you so much for your patience in getting this up and running. Sometimes it's seamless and sometimes it's not. So this is one of those mornings where I thought it was already done. I tested it at about 7 o'clock this morning, and here we are. I had a little bit of a glitch. So thank you very much for joining me. Glad to have you. And I'm just waiting for some feedback from my team to make sure that we've got all systems go, and then I'm going to roll right into this webinar. Grab yourself a quick cup of coffee, hit the restroom one more time before we begin, and we are on board. So it's Friday. I'm wondering how your week has been shaping up. I know mine has been incredibly busy. Just actually returned from a speaking tour and a training tour abroad. So it was a very busy time. And let me just see here what we're getting. So you should be able to see right now in terms of my slides, the Scale Up 2017 Boot Camp and Coaching. And so just making sure that everybody's got the right slides up here. So give us one more moment. And stand by for a second. All right, it's looking like we've got some kind of a technical issue here where things just are not loading up the way we want. And so I think what we'll do with this is we're just going to reload here and see if that will make it work. Let's see what we've got here. Here we go. There we go. All right. Now let me see how we're doing with this. Make sure we've got the slides loaded. Okay, so what do we have? I'm looking for my team here, Rahul, to tell me what we've got in terms of a PowerPoint presentation up on the screen. Did we manage to get that loaded? Can you see it okay? Just send me a quick message so that I know that we're in good shape, and then we'll get started. Okay, looks like we have liftoff. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I understand that the pictures have been disabled, or sorry, the chat's been disabled. So let me take care of one thing at a time here. All right, let's roll. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Sorry for the little short delay in getting started here. Welcome to the world of technology. We all know that we're a slave to it, and when it works, it's great, and when it doesn't, well, I guess that's great too. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Deborah Peters, and I'm not going to keep you past 11, so I'm going to compress this webinar into the next 45 minutes to give you the highest value possible. And it sounds like, again, we're still having problems with the slides getting loaded up. So I'm just going to put you on a quick standby here and do one more check. Oh, good. Okay. So Kendrick, welcome Kendrick. And thank you for your text message. He's telling me that he can see the slide. All right, this is what I wanted to know. So very happy to have you aboard, Kendrick. Welcome. And thanks to my team across the planet for working in different time zones and making this happen. Wow, it's already the middle of October. My goodness, it's heading into the end of October. And not that, I guess, in some ways that really means anything in the grand scheme of life. We're really need to be focused on being in present time, but at the same time, it does have some psychological value. And I believe what that is as the holidays come around, and it just means so much to human beings to roll into the end of a year and then start rolling into a new year, and all the promises that brings with it in terms of new beginnings and the possibility for new opportunities to roll into our lives. And I guess maybe just it's another way of getting a fresh start on a new year to be able to create what it is that we want to create. So So I thought what I would do is I would share with you my business success blueprint program and system so you can start to implement for next year. And now is really the time for that to happen. And if you don't do it now and you wait and you do it later, which so many people do this, if you wait to do it later, you're really behind. This is really the time to do it. As you're rolling into the end of the year, you can reflect. You can reflect on your experience for the year. You can reflect on your success for the year, and it gets you into that new sort of mindset around what do I want to create for next year? Like, what's my intention for next year? And so I want to share with you the tools that I've been teaching and give you as much support around that as I possibly can. So give me 1 second. I just want to close down some of these programs I've got running. So let's just move forward and grab a notepad. I'm going to give you a really content-rich set of steps that I want you to take and start implementing right away, because this is a really high-value webinar. And then I'm going to make an offer for our boot camp that's coming up on the 27th and 28th of October. We'd love to have you join us. So, okay, how do I get to the next, where's my next screen here? Hold on. Okay, now I'm a little bit challenged trying to get this next slide over, so bear with me. Okay, so tell me how that comes through to you now, if you're able to capture this next slide. And what I'm seeing is probably not cooperating. And so we don't need that. So let's go with that. All right, so now hopefully you should have the second slide here up. Let me just enlarge this and see how that presents. No, that's not working the way I want it to work. And so all right, so that might actually be up. So, what I've done is I've put together over the last 20 years of coaching around the world, I've put together a system. And in this system, it's all inclusive. It gives you an opportunity to really bring together all of the critical elements of your business, from how you run your business, how you work in your business, how you work on your business, how you leverage your time, how you automate your business, the systems, the structure, the the people, oh my gosh, the most important part of all is, having the right people in there. So the people are really critical. And what you're doing with your marketing and your messaging and the language that you're using in your marketing. So this is a proven system. I teach this all over the world. This is a really powerful toolbox, and it will enable you to scale up and hit that 7-figure goal and take it beyond that. So I want to share with you some of the tools that are in this system that I've been teaching around the world for the last 10 years as a system. Before that, I taught it more or less as a parts of it, but then I started pulling it all together and seeing how, rather than have my clients, hire multiple coaches and me just do a part of the system, I pulled the entire system together. And this will enable you to hit those goals. This will enable you to hit that 7 figures. So this is what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about your business model map and the steps to utilizing your business model. And by the way, if you would like to have a copy of this presentation so that you can go through it again, because it's going to be so rich, feel free to text me at 310-955-8808. That's 310-955-8808, and I will email you a copy of this presentation. So we're going to go through your business model map and talk about that today in terms of your branding, your marketing, your sales, your team building, your goal achievement. We're also going to cover off your strategic plan and revenue streams. Now, the idea that you have to have a 5 to 10 year plan just doesn't work anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very clunky approach to achieving your goals. It just is not effective. What I teach you is an annual strategic plan that is nimble, that is flexible, that is malleable to changing market demands, that's malleable to you achieving goals. There's no point in having this heavy, clunky 5 to 6 year plan that has goals and objectives in it that you've already achieved. It just becomes redundant. It becomes archaic. We're also going to talk about mindset and key activities. So your ability to execute, just your ability to execute, period. But your ability to execute on key activities is what opens the doorway to higher achievement. So we're going to take a look at understanding how you create blocks and choke points to your business growth, and also knowing how to shift is your quantum leap. Because it's one thing to identify, but then it's another thing to actually make it happen, to actually make that shift. Please follow me on my social networks. We've really put what I'm teaching you to the test over the last 2-3 years, and every up level that comes along, I work with some really high level people in the digital marketing space, the B2B digital marketing space, and everything that up level that comes along, we're on it. We're ahead of the curve. And so if you can, jump on my Facebook, definitely follow me on Twitter. Twitter's like a really good tool for all sorts of branding and marketing. Twitter's just phenomenal. Can't say enough about Twitter. Also follow me on Facebook. I cross-pollinate all my posts. LinkedIn, definitely. We work with a LinkedIn expert because LinkedIn is like a huge tool for business development. If you're not knocking it out on LinkedIn, you're missing the boat, people. I'm telling you. It's 450 million members on LinkedIn with 2 million groups. And these are all high-level people. Now, one of the things I'm going to share with you that I have noticed a little bit about LinkedIn is it's kind of, some people are sort of, I guess, blurring the line on what's acceptable on LinkedIn and kind of treating it a little bit like a Facebook. So that's about to change. I think you're going to see that any aspect of that is going to get cleaned up. And then also my YouTube channel, I record a video or two every week. I do a mindset hack and I do a leadership hack. So very useful for you to have access to that. Nice little tune-up tools. Also, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. So last year in December, I launched a podcast called Neuroscience for Success. And because that's my background's in business and in neuroscience. So we hit new and noteworthy in the first month. 3 weeks in, bam, hit new and noteworthy. And if any of you know anything about new and noteworthy in the podcast world, you can't buy that placement. That's something that just is anointed to you by iTunes. And so just recently, I launched a new series, and it's called Journey of the Mastery of Your Mind. And this is a really powerful series that we just went into the studio last weekend and started recording podcasts. They've not been published yet. You're going to want to get in on the inside track on these. You're going to want to get these podcasts into your phone and listening to them on a daily basis. It just has been phenomenal in terms of the response that we've gotten. 52 countries, listenership from all over the world, and just constantly have these amazing testimonials come in all the time. So here's a testimonial from someone whom, I just met on the fly one day, walking down some steps, and I gave her my podcast, and she started listening to it, and she sent me an email, and she said, "When I first listened to your podcast is right when I needed it most. It was the beginning of 2016, and I was in a car accident that could have taken my life, but somehow I didn't even have a bruise, though the car was totaled. I was in such a rough place and was looking for ways to shut off this voice inside me, my intuition, that I believed I deserved more or should strive for more. I was engaging in meaningless relationships and I felt lost. I am still reworking my thought patterns, but I wouldn't have been so blatantly aware of them if it weren't for you and what God showed me through your words. I don't know if you believe in God or not, but I know He spoke to me through you when I wouldn't have been able to listen to anyone else. I've sent your podcast to a lot of my friends. I have found it frustrating to convey some of these truths to friends, but I'm also having a hard time not wanting to help people in my life. So I'm noticing that working on the use of these podcasts is really helping me shift. I'm in a place where I have a goal and I'm spending more time meditating and reading and praying. I've learned there are a lot of my choke points are, and I'm able to keep ahead of them, and I know I'm on the right path being aware of them. All of this to say thank you for encouraging me, a stranger, to be my best self. I know there are so many like me that you are going to bless. So you guys want to get on this podcast, because when you have those challenging moments and you feel like life is beating you down, there's a ton of tools. I've basically taken 20 years of seminars and loaded them into these free podcasts. So this is a little bit about me. I'm a business accelerator coach and thought leader. I love to travel around the world. I love to have amazing experiences. I don't see my personal life and my business life as being two separate entities, because I'm me, and all of me shows up when I'm working with my clients, and there is no demarcation line. So I want to share that, because this is a heart-centered process I'm going to take you through, where your life is going to become more rich, more fulfilled, more balanced, and just all the way around. You're going to become all of who you can be and maximize your potential. So recently I was abroad and had an opportunity to ride on a helicopter and a couple times, and it was pretty thrilling. I love choppers. So that's a little bit about me. When I was abroad, it was like a 3-week speaking, touring, and coaching trip that I aligned with the Department for International Trade of the British government. And so there's my there's the little poster on the door to the seminar space, and there I am with one of the delegates from the British government in Southeast England, and just had a really wonderful time presenting and coaching and training a very select, exclusive group of small to mid-sized business owners that were across the UK that traveled in for this. I live a laptop lifestyle. This is something that I've been looking to achieve for the last couple of years, and I realized on this trip as I was traveling abroad that I actually did it. I actually am living it. It's not something that's down the road that is in the future. It's now. I'm in the process, and so it's a beautiful, for me, it's a beautiful blessing, because it's something that I've always wanted to do with my life, and just to have that freedom. So I want to encourage all of you to be able to automate your business. I'm going to teach you how to do that. You've got to automate your business. If you're trading time for money, then you're actually leaving a lot of money on the table. Let's just put it that way, because you can be utilizing your time so much better and creating so much more for yourself than if you're always having to show up to make sure that the money comes through the door. So I work in the super yacht industry, work with a lot of clients in the super yacht industry, and now, you know, the British government, the Department of International Trade, and the United Kingdom Trade and Development Group. I do seminars all over the world, as you can see, and we run a business conference here in LA twice a year, and we're expanding that into London in 2017. So that's just a little bit about me. I had an opportunity when I was on my way home at the tail end of my tour through Europe and the UK to stop into Sir Richard Branson's Disruptor Conference, and it was on the 3rd of October in London. It was a phenomenal day, just phenomenal. I really like the way he thinks. I like to model different aspects about how he thinks, not what he thinks, but how he thinks, how he puts ideas together, and how he creates and multiplies and develops these new concepts into profitable businesses, you know. And the thing is that all mankind's inner feelings eventually manifest themselves as an outer reality. And this is really what I want to impart upon you today, that you are the master of your own destiny. You're the master of your own life. You are the creator of all of your experiences, good, bad, or indifferent. And you really have the power to change it. So there's no time like the present, right? It starts right here, and it starts right now. So these are the areas I'd like you to take a look at for 2017. You know, what are your business strategies? How are you going to do your lead generation for next year? Where are these new people coming from? Look, there's billions of people in the world, and you know, if you're only reaching like a fraction of a percentage of them, then you have to scale up your business. That's just the bottom line. And if you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, the only way you're going to be able to scale is through automation. And so let me teach you this. Let me teach you marketing strategies. Let me share with you my health strategies. Let me show you how to build out a sales funnel that drives traffic, that builds your list, that, you know, that generates leads for you, that attracts the right talent, that increases your deal flow, that provides you with the leadership skills to really excel and succeed and move beyond choke points that might be stopping you and blocking you right now. So that's kind of a nice overview. When we get into the revenue stream part, it really is about your value proposition And that's the first question I ask everyone, what's your value proposition, and then how do you monetize that? And where do you connect that into your customer segments? And then how does that flush out into those revenue streams? So we've got all of this going on the back end. We've got the automation, we've got the sales funnel, we have the list building, and then we have to have the leadership skills, and we have to be able to understand the new generations we're working with. I was at a meeting recently, and it was really fascinating to me because there were people at the table that were probably everything from baby boomer to millennial. And, the baby boomers were talking about how they needed to impart their wisdom upon the millennials because the millennials just don't get it. And I hear so much negative comments about millennials. And what I shared with the group is that, because the big complaint at the table from the baby boomers is that the millennials don't want to work. And what I shared with the group is that maybe they're onto something. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't work, but maybe they're onto this idea that it isn't so much about how hard you do things or how hard you make things, but rather it's more along the lines of how easy could we allow opportunities to come to us. And maybe that's something that the millennials bring to the table, is that, they just, maybe there is a sense of entitlement, but in that sense of entitlement, they're attracting to them the things that they want without that old sort of baby boomer paradigm that you have to grind it out constantly. And so I want you to watch your thought patterns. I want you to watch your belief systems. I want you to get on top of your self-talk and the language that you use with yourself and others, so that you can shift into this new paradigm. We'll look at a sales funnel. Now, your sales funnel is a direct execution on your value proposition. And this is a really powerful tool right here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit as we get into this about your website and where that's all going wrong. And then we're going to look at what you can do with that to turn it into a sales funnel. Your talent strategy, when you're hiring people, don't just look at their resume, but also look at their consciousness. How do these people think? How do they handle stress? How at cause are they? Or are they victims? If you're hiring someone that is always looking outside of themselves for the answer, or blaming or not taking responsibility, then that's how they're going to handle things in their workflow. You've got to constantly be building your list. I think we went from like 11,000 to 60,000 in just a couple, 4 short months. And these are quality contacts that are warm, in a sense that they came to us. We didn't go buy a list or anything like that. Like, they came to us through our marketing strategies, through our sales funnel, through our list building. And then, of course, your deal flow is going to be a direct connection to your lead generation, right? If you have the lead generation part dialed down, it has to flush into deals. Like, that's just at the end of the day, just for nothing less, I suppose, if we look at it logically, it just becomes a numbers game. Generate more leads, put out more value, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Eventually it turns into deal flow, and then you need to get really good at managing that deal flow, which is another conversation. I just found this to be kind of fun, a day in the life of an entrepreneur. I'm excited. Oh, this is hard. It's working. Oh, I messed up. Give up the good for the great. Oh, I think I'm going bankrupt. I'm good. I don't know why I get so down on myself. Oh, I was wrong. I suck. Wait a second, my life is great. It's like, what we'll show you how to do is actually level this out. And this is all mindset. This is all reactionary stuff. This is all reacting to some kind of external situation. So we'll show you how to shift that. So statistics show that only 4% of small companies become thriving organizations. And that's 20% per year or more for 4 consecutive years. So that's, those statistics are pretty sad, actually, and we aim to change that. What I've seen over the years is I believe the reason that this is what it is, and I put it in one of my emails in the campaign to invite you to register for this webinar. Number one, most companies don't plan. They don't take time at the end of the year like this to sit down, reflect, review, map out, and then set new intentions with a new mindset for the next year. That's the biggest reason for this. Or they'll just like rerun some numbers and go, okay, well, next year we're just going to shoot for 20% more. But they don't change the structure to get there. They don't change the mindset to get there. And so there's a choke point. Another reason that this number is so low, I believe, is just lack of automation. There's lack of automation. Like, look, there's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so much you, one person, or you on a small team can handle. You've got to automate. And, I was having a conversation when I was in Britain with a group that I was coaching, and I was saying, look, in America, everything's automated these days. You can buy a car online. You can buy a house online. Pretty soon you're going to buy commercial buildings online. Like, everything is automated, people. Just look out there. Everything is automated. Why aren't you? So that's a really important key, and that's why this number is so low. Now you'll see on the bottom of the screen here that I used part of this presentation. I wanted you to see this because this is for those of you that are professional speakers or that you present to groups. You need to learn about this. I'm gonna teach this to you. So if you want to, I know this is an international number, but if you want to text it and put in this keyword, you will get this presentation. This is a tool that I use. So that's one of the ways we were able to bump up our contact list so big is when I speak in front of groups, I have people text in to get the presentation, and it's a lead capture process for me. So go ahead and give it a try if you want to. I just wanted to leave it in there so you can see that this works everywhere in the world. I can put in a local number in any country that I am, and they'll text in, it'll lead capture, and it'll automatically drop the presentation into their email box. So that's one example of automating. Now, if this was, I could have switched this out and put in like a 310 number or a 323 number or a 626 number, whatever Los Angeles area code number I wanted to put in there. I actually have a 310 that I use for this. But I wanted to point out that you can do this in any country when you have this automation tool. For those of you that like to work abroad and have gone more international. So automate, here we go. Stop trading time for money. Trading time for money is, there's a ceiling to that. We all know that. There's a 3-step process here. You attract, you sell, and you wow. This looks really simple, but when you take each one of these steps and you break it down, there's a lot involved in that. And so that's what we teach you. We teach you how to build that out. So you want to, attract the right customer segments. So who are those people for you, for your company, for your offering, for your business? You want to educate them regarding the product. People are very sophisticated these days, and I'll give you a case in point on that. when I first started offering our coaching programs to the super yacht industry abroad, it was very early 2006, I want to say, prior to the crash. And even right up to 2012, I would hear comments that billionaires who buy, 30, 40, 50, $60 million yachts are not social media users. They're not online. They're doing other things with their time, and it's not playing on the internet. And they were so wrong. So what's happened is they've, the brokers and the management companies in those luxury markets have had to realize that billionaires are online and they are very savvy on what costs are on luxury products, and they want to deal just like everybody else. So you've got to educate your customers regarding the product. They want the education. Also, you want to provide valuable offers for them. And I'm going to provide a really high value offer for you as we move on through this presentation. And then you just want to close the deal. Like, here we are. We're here to serve you. And I think that's a really important language pattern. We're here to serve you. And in that closing process, right? Definitely want to look at, your delivery, like providing that wow moment to your customer, being able to offer more to them. It saves them time. Look, if I can go into a company and I can take in the leadership coaching, the business model mapping, the strategic planning, the sales funnel design and implementation, the up-leveling of the website into the sales funnel, the leadership skills, the mindset tools, and it's all in one package, that saves them looking for someone to come in and do something for them. I just not only gave them all the tools, which produce amazing results, but I've also save them the time and money of finding that next resource. Do you understand what I'm saying? So create your JVs, create your joint ventures, create your strategic plans and your strategic alliances. Get referrals from them. Ask them, like, who do you know? If this is working for you, tell me, who do you know? Who else in your circle could benefit from this? So this is really important. Get those referrals, get connected. Attraction marketing as its finest. So, bringing the attraction, the conversion into the retention, and then continually circling them through. You're going to want to up-level your offerings fairly consistently. I can tell you that every time I work with a company, there's dormant revenue streams that they haven't thought of that we can actually plug them into that make a really big difference. And then let me just flip through. So let's go back here. Now, attraction marketing, you've got your prospects, right? You've got your contacts. You've got your leads, you've got your finalists, you've got your clients. What I want to say to you about those first 4 steps is that there's offerings that you can provide to these folks, even if they don't engage in the big offer. For instance, what we do is we'll have a business conference in April. Now, April's a long way off for a lot of you guys to come to a conference to get on your game for 2017. So what we did instead is we put together a program that functions now. Like next week, Thursday, Friday, you can join us for our boot camp, October 27th and 28th. And the monthly coaching that supports you in implementing all of these strategies throughout the year. So think of it in terms of what can you offer people now? Because everybody's always looking, everyone in the marketplace is looking to become more effective and more efficient. And the best way that you are going to be able to help them is if you're consistently putting it out there so that they can take advantage of it. If you're the best kept secret, it isn't going to matter how great you are, or how awesome your tools are, or how amazing your offering is. If you're not out there networking and connecting, and you're automating your system, and you're drawing in leads, and you're offering high value content, doing webinars and stuff like this, for example, getting out and speaking in front of groups and letting them know what you have available, then it's all for naught. It really doesn't matter, does it? So I want to invite you to come next week, Thursday, Friday. We'll spend 2 days together, provide you with a manual, walk you through a process of building out your year ahead, and then I'll work with you each month throughout the year to bring those goals into alignment, so that their systems and structure and the talent pool and the sales funnel and the marketing and the branding, everything is coming together all simultaneously. So we want to look at your value proposition. We want to look at your key resources. And then we look at your key activities. A lot of people have stuff on their plate that isn't even relative to their big goals. They'll have like these busy lists. So we cut out the busy lists and we just dial it down to key activities. And you'll see once we start mapping this out together, that suddenly your entire year becomes really clear. And you know exactly what to do, what day, what week, what month, what quarter. And pretty soon when the end of the year rolls around, you've exceeded your goals. You've exceeded your ability to achieve. So developing your revenue model, this is a really important element in the business model map. If you're wondering like what's in a business model map, we identify the types of your revenue streams. We get into your key revenue model and market questions. We look at ways to generate new revenue streams. There's a lot of automation. There's a lot of individualization that can be done. There's new offers that you can be putting out that people could be connecting to. If you're doing large scale projects, like some of my clients are in the construction industry and they're doing really large scale projects. And so then we look at, well, those large scale projects are going on and it takes a while to get paid off of them. What else can we be generating that is a quicker turnaround on the revenue? So there's other ways to look at what you've got taking place, and then what you could put out there that would bump up your revenue stream and increase your value proposition as well. Now, the number one driver behind challenge, I would say, struggle, failure, defeat, all of that is your mindset. And with my background in neuroscience, what makes my system so unique and so I don't even know what the word is, almost like profound, is when I take you through it as we implement, say, your strategy for next year. We also look at your mindset around receiving and allowing that to come in for yourself. So we get you past these failures and struggles and shifting your thinking. And it's going to take some diligence on your part. I'll give you the tool and then you have to choose to implement it. Because the only difference really between hard work and struggle are your negative thought patterns. So this is really key. Neuroscience and business, I've been teaching this for 20 some years, and the world has finally caught up with me. So I'm really thrilled about that. And all of that takes place before this. So if you're one of those people that tries to build all this before this, then you're going to find that this isn't as effective. And you're going to wonder why you've put so much time and money into this, but it's not producing what it should be. And then so we have to just back up and we have to clean some of this up. And then we can jump back over here and we can build this out. So I want you to learn to think like that. Like success is an inside job. It starts on the inside and then it works its way into your outer world and into your bank account. What's coming? Well, email's on its way out. I don't know if you're noticing this or not, but about 70%, only about 70% of emails are getting through these days. The algorithms are changing. There's a lot of different things going on behind the scenes that we don't have any control over. So what you're going to see is that business communication is moving into these different platforms where it's very common to have a thread going of communication between you and someone else or another team or a client, and it's happening maybe through LinkedIn or through Facebook or through Twitter. It's definitely less formal. You know, I took me a minute to adjust to that, but times are always changing, right? So we have to stay ahead of the game, or the game will bypass us. The other thing is static websites. If you have a static website that people just click and look at and read, that's so last century. Forgive me, but it's true. I mean, I know some of you have really beautiful websites. I've seen them. In fact, I had a conversation with a woman yesterday. I'm like, wow, you have a beautiful website. How much money is it generating for you? And she couldn't answer the question. And I said, exactly. So what we're doing is we're moving all of our clients from the static website into a sales funnel. And we'll teach you how to do that, because your website is your money maker. And if it's just a static website and you're trying to do SEO or pay-per-click or some of that old school stuff, it's like you're kind of last century. So I really want you to get up with the times. I want you to move this along. Like, let's get you ahead of the game instead of you behind the 8 ball waiting for something to happen. So that's it. This is what we're covering on the 2-day boot camp and coaching, which is coming up the 27th and 28th of October. And so we go through your core values of your company, your business model map, your value proposition, your annual strategic plan, your leadership skills, your scope of vision, coaching others, communication. We look at your branding, your marketing strategy from your B2B, business to consumer, digital media, monetization of brand and offerings. I introduce you to how to build out a sales funnel. We look at your deal flow, what your ROI is on that, and then of course automating your business, making money while you sleep. So here's the deal. I'll send out the offer on this when we hang up this webinar, which is going to be in about 60 seconds. And send you out the pricing on it. It's $497 to get in the door, and then there's follow-up coaching packages that go along with that, and you can pick the one that fits into your timeline and budget. And then I keep working with you throughout the year to make sure that all of these things integrate, implement, and get executed on so that you reach your end goal. And this is the best way to do it. It's a small, intimate group, maximum 10 people, got a few chairs left, and very much would love, absolutely be delighted to have you come, spend a couple days with me, and then the rest of the year, let's just take you there. You know, where do you want to go? Let's take you there, because your intention and your planning and your execution is what's going to make it happen, and I can make that efficient for you. So thank you so much for being on this webinar, for hanging in there for the first 13 minutes till I worked through all the technical issues, and I will definitely be in touch with you this afternoon, and we'll have you join us next week on Thursday or Friday. Have a blessed rest of the day, and hope this was valuable to you. Shoot me a text message. If you have any questions at all, you can call me, text me. My mobile number is the best place to reach me today at 310-955-8808, 310-955-8808. Thank you so much, everyone. Many blessings. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.